Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca Meisel. Welcome. I'm very excited to dive into this week's themes. First, I have to apologize. My throat is a bit sore today, so I'm going to be taking this reading a little bit slower. I might have to pause and have some sips of my tea, but I'm hoping to get through this. So let me know how this all sounds, and I do apologize if I do take some breaks throughout. But first and foremost, I'm really excited to go into this reading. Genuinely, this is such a momentous reading. I might have shed a tear or two this morning as I was channeling and writing this. It was just, the energies were just so supportive and so amazing and loving. And it just felt like, I don't think I've had so many angel rushes, like the chills through a reading in a long time. It was just absolutely phenomenal. So the first theme is honestly incredible. Becoming proud of who you are. Releasing the need to be anything but yourself. You've needed this time of isolation to return to you, to work out the kinks in your own relationship towards yourself, to breathe life into the new person you wish to be. It's all been necessary. You will now begin again. The trials and tribulations are over. It's time to live free, be who you want to be, and say goodbye to the past. Things will never be the same. All right, this is so amazing. What I've been really getting is we've been doing so much inner work, and I feel like this bears repeating because we really have. Those of us who've really been putting in the effort, who've been following their energies and working with those energies and doing all of this release work, what I've been really getting is this eclipse season was so powerful for that, for helping us bring illumination to what's not true to us, to what's not loving for us and supportive of the person we're now wanting to be, the person we are manifesting or trying to become. And what's so beautiful is when we have that expression of like becoming the best versions of ourselves, it really is not always what we think. It's actually an unlearning of all of the programming and things that we thought needed to be. And we're releasing that to reveal the true person that really already is inside of us. And it's really this grand reveal. And that's what I always think of when we have this saying, like, reveal your true self. It's a revealing. We're removing all of the clutter, all of the programming, and all of the things that sabotaged us, that didn't allow us to see the truth beneath the surface. And some of us have buried ourselves so deeply that it took all of this time. It took this journey of your life to really start chipping away and seeing beneath the surface and allowing yourself to be seen. And what's so beautiful is they're showing me this pulling back of the drapes, where it's like when you're at a show and those big, beautiful, thick red velvet curtains are being drawn so you can see what's about to happen. And it's like this grand reveal. Here I am. Here I am. I am the main focus of my life. I am the main character of this story. Look at me. Here I am. And it's this beautiful energy, this complete full circle moment. And it makes me want to cry because we fought so hard to get here. We fought so hard to just be ourselves. And it's this full circle moment, this closure this ending of this chapter of the struggle, of the strive, of fighting tooth and nail just to be you. And it's like, this is no longer going to be your experience. You've made it. You've reached your destination. And it's like the tears want to pour out of my eyes because it's like, look at you. Look at you. Look how far you've come. Look at you saying no to what isn't you anymore, what isn't authentic to you. Look at you shining, becoming the star of your own life. And there's a pride that's coming in this week where we're recognizing finally, wow, maybe I'm here. Maybe I've made it. You know, they're really bringing this awareness to how we've thought, and we've had this very specific picture of what we wanted to manifest, and we're realizing maybe what we thought we needed to bring fulfillment isn't actually true. It isn't what we actually needed. And we're realizing, wow, I've actually made the destination and I didn't even realize it. And the destination was becoming the truest version of yourself. And you're doing that right here, right now. You are that right here, right now. You've reached it. And that's what I'm hearing this week is so many of us have reached this pivotal point in our journey where we don't care anymore about what we thought we needed. We don't care about the external story that says, well, you need this, this, and this. Everything needs to align perfectly for you to be happy, to have this grand life experience. You're recognizing right here, right now, in this moment, I am fulfilled because I am being true to me. I've reached my authenticity. And that is one of the highest vibrations available to us, because when we are in an authentic vibration, well, guess what? We're going to attract everything that's meant for us. So we're not worrying anymore. We're not striving anymore. We're not in this space of lack. We're like, no, I'm fulfilled right where I am because guess what? I'm being me. I'm being true to me. I'm not bending over backwards to play by the societal rules and landscape for my life. I don't have to participate in that story. I get to make the rules. I am the star of my life. I'm the main character and I'm pulling the strings. I get to decide where I go and what aligns with me. And they're so proud of you because so many of us have been saying no to what is not authentic anymore. And they're showing me this reveal of maybe we've been waking up to this awareness how every single corner of our life, we can align it with us, right? So they're showing me the opposite of maybe how we've lived the opposite our whole lives, where we've people pleased, where we've been like, well, yeah, I'm going to do this because I'll feel bad if I don't, or these people are counting on me, or, I need to go through this experience because, well, then it's going to get me what I want. And we're releasing the need to suffer through things. We're releasing the need to cater and to sacrifice and to forfeit our own needs and comfortability. And that's what's being authentic, is having boundaries, is having this awareness that we matter and that what is in alignment with us is going to flow. It's going to flow easily. It's going to flow with ease and grace, right? What's meant for you will be meant for you. And we're no longer feeling guilty for taking what we need, for doing the things we're doing. By making the decisions and the choices that we're making, we're like, you know what? I don't care if you approve of it or not. This is me. This is me. And we're recognizing this week. It's absolutely incredible. And we're recognizing as well why we've maybe had a very isolating life. Okay? They were just bringing me this very strong awareness that a lot of us have gone through life feeling like we don't fit, that we don't resonate, that the people around us, perhaps we're like, you know what, like I keep feeling like I need to force this friendship. I feel like I need to force conversation, or I feel like I need to cater or hide these parts of myself and disown these parts of myself to fit in the mold. And when we're in that space, it can feel very isolating and lonely, because what do? That requires so much energy and effort to be fake, to pretend and go along with what other people want and need and societal expectations. How much energy were we actually feeding into that, right? How much? Tons. Some of us, it's like all of our energy went into that. You know, we have that prime example of coming home from a day at work feeling absolutely exhausted. And maybe it wasn't because of the work, maybe it was just because of the environment, because of who you had to be at work and in that environment. You know, when you work in customer service, you got to put that happy face on. You got to put that face forward. But is that your face that day? Is that how you're feeling that day? Right? We're so taught to put on a mask of what is acceptable. And that's exhausting. It's draining. So how much of your life do you think did you actually commit to doing that? You know, whether it was intentional or not, whether we were aware of it or not, we could have been committing to a life of complete betrayal of ourselves. And we might have lived that way for years, right? So that was our normal, was betraying ourselves, not being authentic, not saying no, not catering to our needs, but we're flipping the script. And we've been doing this. We've been putting in the effort and the time to really consider ourselves, consider our needs, and growing from that place where it's like, wow, I'm recognizing how toxic this is, how toxic this has been. But once again, that's isolating, because you're taking a step away from what is considered normal, what is considered acceptable, what is considered being pleasant and agreeable, right? So we might have faced some adversity with that. We might have had people call us out. We might have people who have not agreed, that have not liked us and our authentic choices. But I'm really seeing like, we're recognizing the toxicity, but that doesn't take away from that point of feeling alone in it, right? So it's like, well, when I am authentic, who's going to be there, right? When I am just loud and proud about who I am, who's standing beside me? Who's going to really be there, right? So what I'm really recognizing is this week, we're recognizing this need of that isolation, because we might have had this viewpoint of like, I'm always alone, I'm always lonely, nobody understands me, nobody will see me, and that very isolating feeling. But you've actually needed to be that way. You've needed to be in that space of feeling that loneliness and isolation, because you needed to search yourself. You needed to go into yourself and to what was true to you, to what is true to you, who you are now. And we needed this time of going into hermit mode and stepping back from other people so we could really go inward and really know ourselves. And that's what I was seeing coming through in the channeling. There was so much of this needing to be inward and needing to live our lives that way for perhaps some time. So it was necessary, and we're forgiving this week. We're letting go of that, where it's like, yeah, okay, that hurt. It was hard to be alone, but I'm seeing now why I needed that, so I could really become firm in who I am. And I could really do the healing that was necessary to reveal my true self, to see who I really am and my true beliefs that were deep buried beneath the surface. So we've been working out those kinks. We've also become aware when we're alone, we have no other choice but to really face the music, face our behaviors, face our problems head on, because there's no distractions, right? And that's what they're showing me as well. So maybe it's even just been the past few weeks. Maybe you've been isolating. Maybe you've been in hermit mode at home. You haven't been going out. And maybe you haven't felt the need to. And I'm hearing it was necessary, once again, to help you see what you're really feeling and feel what you're really feeling and have the time and space to do that without any outward people in your life. So we've needed this isolation. And so we said, so what channeled here was this time of isolation was to return to yourself, to work out the kinks in your own relationship with self, to breathe life into the new person you wish to be. It's all been necessary. So yeah, we've needed to start recognizing our toxic habits, our self-sabotaging ways, and recognize what has been needed to be healed so we can become who we already are deep down. We need to, so we can recognize who we've always been all along. This person who believes in themselves, this person who does love themselves. When we go to that space of our soul is never in judgment. Our soul is always loving us. It sees its deservingness, right? We just had to remember. It was all the stories that blinded us to our truth, right? So we're seeing this. So you will now begin again. The trials and tribulations are over. Okay, this was incredible because what a powerful statement. Maybe we've been very tested in our lifetime. Maybe we've had what seemed to be a series of trials and tribulations that we've needed to get through. But this is no longer going to be the case because we're not viewing our lives this way anymore. Because once we've uncovered ourselves, once we've come into our authentic self, we're like, wow, everything in life is happening for me, right? So even if a seemingly test comes in, that's not how we're going to see it. No, that doesn't exist in my world. No. The universe loves me. It's never punishing me. I love me. I am never punishing me. I'm not going to move into that victim mentality. I'm not going to allow myself to go back into old ways because that's not aligning with me anymore. That's not how I see the world anymore. This challenge is only making me stronger, right? These things aren't going to exist. And the amazing thing is once we've released the need for a challenge, then what's the purpose of it being there anymore? So as an example, maybe our whole life we've been challenged with being authentic. Well, guess what? That challenge is not going to happen anymore. If we stay authentic, if we choose to learn that lesson and release the need for it. And that's what I was really getting. It's like we're closing this major cycle, this major chapter of where we've been betraying ourselves, where we've been feeling guilty for just being who we are. We're letting it go. We're releasing the need for the shame. And it's gone. It's gone. So this is what we need to continually remind ourselves of. If stuff comes up, oh, right, maybe I'm trying to bring back that lesson. Now, they're bringing in the repetitiveness of the brain. So even though we've learned the lesson, sometimes our brain chemistry, our pathways in our brain are very set to these programs. So once again, we might have those repetitive cycles come up because our brain is used to that familiarity of criticism or hiding or betrayal. So we need to remember, oh, this is just my factory settings. I need to reset. I'm resetting the settings of my brain, right? I am redoing this. I am taking control back. So just be aware of these things come up, but it doesn't mean the lesson, like you haven't learned the lesson. You've learned it. We just need to flip the switch. All right. So keep flipping that switch, reset. Every time that comes in, right, I'm relearning. This is the new pathway I'm creating, right? Because we are now beginning again. It's time to live free, be who you want to be. Say goodbye to the past. Things will never be the same. They keep saying this, things will never be the same. Okay, it's absolutely amazing. Say goodbye to the past. So that means we're not going to welcome it anymore. We're not going to entertain the past anymore. We're not going to rehash the past anymore. That's not for us. The past is done. Okay? Keep saying this. Things will never be the same. Revive hope in your heart. You are your own best friend. You will be supporting yourself and anchoring in what is good for you now. You are your own sacred defender. We are so proud of you. How beautiful is this? Sometimes when we go through these big shifts, it's really easy to get in that mindset of like, from our experiences, to expect the same outcome. So they're giving me the example of like, when we begin a fresh chapter, we tend to bring the past into that fresh chapter because it's like, well, from past experience, when I start this new chapter, something comes in and sabotages it, right? So we might have that come in, but that's for us to say goodbye and put it back in its place. Okay, this isn't coming in to our new chapter as long as we don't let it, right? So this is where we need to be our own sacred defender. We're realizing, hey, wow, I don't need someone to rescue me. I don't need someone to help me. I can help me. I can defend me. I have the power to say no to what hurts me and believe in myself, right? So we're shifting this mentality completely this week. We are our own best friend. We get to support ourselves. We are now anchoring in what is good for ourselves. So this next chapter, there's not going to be this need to try to keep ourselves safe. There's not going to be this hypervigilance that follows because guess what? There's no need for it anymore. We're in our authenticity. We are doing what is in alignment with ourselves. We're making aligned decisions and choices of what is best for us, right? We're not coming from a space of lack and fear anymore. We are supporting ourselves. We're becoming our own cheerleader for life. So it's like we're not going to repeat the past. And guess what? Because we're ensuring we don't. So once again, the power is in our hands. The power is in your hands and in your decisions. So we need to be very mindful this week. I'm not going to be a victim to life anymore. I'm going to ensure that everything works great because guess what? It will if I believe in myself and if I let the past go, right? I'm anchoring in only love and light in my life. I am my own sacred defender. And as we do this, the universe is so proud of you. It's so beautiful. Like they're just showing me so much happiness and pride and admiration where it's like, look at you. We're so happy you're making these choices for your life. Look at you saying no to what hurts you. Look at you moving forward in your dreams because you finally know you deserve it. We're so proud of you. So listen to this. You now will live a life of bliss because finally you know what you deserve. You've released relationships and energies that have hurt you. You've been shielding yourself. You've been putting in boundaries. And you are safe to do what you love. You don't have to do anything for anybody anymore. You get to live your life for you. There is no more waiting. This is your reward. You get to be you. You are free to be you now. And you have fought so hard to be her. Isn't this amazing? Like I just, oh my God, I just keep getting the chills every time I read this. So honestly, our lives are radically changing because we're seeing what we deserve. We've been putting in the boundaries. We've been putting in these shields around us where we're like, no, I'm not tolerating bad behavior anymore. No, I'm not putting up even with this little ounce of energy that makes me uncomfortable. No, I'm not going to settle for less anymore. No, I'm not going to put myself in a situation that makes me uncomfortable. No, I'm giving myself the freedom to choose what's best for me, no matter what other people think. And now I get to put me first, which means focusing on what I actually am here to do, on focusing on what's aligning with me, on focusing on what I love. And I don't have to view it as a privilege anymore. This is what I get to do every day, because guess what? That's in alignment with me, which is in alignment with your higher self, right? Think about that. What you love to do is what you're actually supposed to be doing. What you love to do is what your soul, your higher calling actually is. So where have you not been doing what you love? Where have you not been in your purpose? Okay, your purpose here is to be in the state of love. So what puts you in a state of love, which helps you raise the vibration of the world? How can you really help people if you're not in a state of love, right? We can help people, but are we coming from that space? And guess what? True love means you come first. True love means you love yourself first. That means you actually know how to love. You know what love is. Yes, we can love other people. Yes, we can have illuminations to that. But I'm talking self-love. If you're someone you want to help people, you want to help them love themselves, well, do you love yourself? Where do you need to love yourself? Where do you need to be in a space of love? And they're really showing me this beauty to it, because it's like, sometimes we also let that hold us back because we're like, well, I'm not advanced enough. I can't help people by just doing what I'm doing. Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can help people, even if you're not healed. None of us are healed. None of us ever will be fully healed because we're human. Okay? We can absolutely help other people by being right where you are. Wherever state you are, we have to come to that acceptance, right? But what I'm saying is when we allow ourselves to love ourselves first, we're going to be able to better do what we need to do. We're going to have a full cup. We're going to have boundaries. We're going to know how to do things in a more efficient way, in a way that serves us, right? I see this all the time, even with myself, with light workers. Even in my own journey, it's like, well, I'll sacrifice everything, all my needs, so I can help you. But that's not real love, right? We have to love ourselves. We have to look after ourselves. The better we do that, the better we can serve and help, right? But what's really cool is this statement, you don't have to do anything for anybody anymore. You get to live your own life for you. And sometimes we don't recognize the more we put in the healing and the effort and time into ourselves, the more that actually helps others, even just by them seeing our improvement, right? We never know who we're going to inspire just by living life, just by doing the work that we're doing for ourselves, right? But what I'm really getting is a lot of us have been toxic, chronic people pleasers. So this is where resentment has come in. This is where hurt has come in. This is where a disbalance has come in the energies. And this is what's clearing this week, is we're recognizing, hey, guess what? I can actually serve me and serve others. I can actually meet my needs and help others. I can have balance. I don't have to forfeit everything for everyone all the time. I get to live my own life. I get to choose what I want. I don't have to let what my parents want affect my life course. I don't have to let my spouse dictate my life course. I don't have to let my job dictate my life course. Society dictate my life course. I get to decide where I'm going. This is my journey, right? So there's no more waiting. This is your reward. You get to be you. So this is where I was saying, like, we've actually met our destination. We've reached it. And a lot of us haven't even realized that. That life that we thought we needed to be fulfilled, it's here. And realize that all the things you wanted might not have needed to be there. Maybe they're not here at all. But you're in a space where you're fulfilled anyway. You didn't need the time. You didn't need the house. You didn't need the, all the fancy things that we're told that we need for fulfillment. We're fulfilling ourselves. It's absolutely insane. It's amazing. So you are free to be you. You have fought so hard to be here. You have. Look at you. Look at your journey. Look at all you've done, all of you've come through to reveal your true self, to find yourself again. And you should be so proud of yourself. You should be so proud of yourself. So listen to this. You will no longer be giving yourself away. You will be holding true to the truth of you. All right? Absolutely incredible. You won't be giving yourself away anymore. You're holding yourself right where you need to be. You're anchoring in. They're showing me someone very grounded in themselves. And they're holding their heart like, this is so precious. My heart is so precious. Guess what? I'm not going to just give it away for free. I'm not going to just give away everything I am to please others anymore. I'm going to see the value of my heart. I'm going to see the value of my love, the value of myself. And I'm going to hold true to that. Okay, you're holding true to your truth, right? You're not compromising your truth anymore. So this was interesting. I got this sense at this point that maybe we've been feeling disconnected. Maybe we have been noticing this even with our guides. Maybe we haven't been connecting with the universe as much as we normally have or normally do. Maybe we've been feeling a bit of a withdrawal intuitively, and there's been a lot of confusion and strife the past few weeks. But what was really interesting was this understanding that our guides were actually taking a step back. And they wanted this to be known because they wanted you to make your own decisions. So if your methods weren't working for you, that normally work for you, this is why. Your guides wanted you to make a decision from your authenticity. They wanted you to take this step. They didn't want to just tell you. They didn't want to just give you this answer. They wanted you to find this for yourself so you could triumph. Okay? And really enjoy this moment and go, yeah, I made that choice. I made this choice for myself and I'm here. I'm choosing me, and this is absolutely monumental. Okay? So this is why if you haven't been feeling as connected, it's on purpose. They're like, you need to make these choices for you. We can't do it for you. We can't give you all the answers as much as we want to, right? This is your journey. And what's so beautiful is what followed up right after. You made the right decisions, and you should be so proud. This is what channeled. Look at you. You are shining. You are brilliant. You have done everything that you have set out to do. You're no longer living in your past. You are living your future. Remember what we've talked about the past few readings? Really manifesting in the present moment. So that means you're living your future. You are prioritizing the things you want to manifest in the now, which in essence is you creating that future for yourself. So you are manifesting bliss. You are manifesting harmony. You are becoming free. It's just absolutely amazing. And some of us might not realize this. We might be like, well, life is just life. And, we might get up like it's just every other day. But guess what? You need this awareness. You've reached your destination. You've done everything you've set out to do. Look at you. Okay, take this moment and go, oh my God, I'm here. Wow, I'm living my truest expression of me. I'm living an authentic life right now. I am choosing and making decisions and choices that are true to me. Wow, look at you. Look at you. You are manifesting a life of bliss. You are becoming free. So live free, live for you. Be you in all your authentic glory. You don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. Share only what you love. So this was really beautiful because they're once again showing me where we might have really subscribed to this proving mindset where it's like, look at me, look at what I can do. I need to prove myself so people will accept me, so people will buy my services or whatever. We might have been really pushing that narrative. And sometimes you even feel that in yourself where it's like, oh, I really don't want to do it this way, but I feel like I have to do this way so I can receive validation, right? So an example of that is even like social media. We have so much pressure to perform on social media that we have to meet all these check boxes for, awareness. We have to beat the algorithm. There's all this stuff. If you're involved in a business at all, a lot of you will know that. And the marketing, right? There's all these aspects. So that's an example of where we might have been feeling a lot of pressure that we need to push ourselves on people, that we need to constantly meet this standard of proving, hey, I'm good at this, or hey, look at this. And it might not have felt good to us, right? So we're shifting this, and that's what's so beautiful is they're like, yeah, we're not going to be doing that anymore. We're not going to be pushing content or pushing our ideas and things and thoughts on people in that way. We're instead flipping the script where it's like, I'm actually just going to start sharing what I genuinely want to share. I'm going to post what I want to post. I'm going to, show people through my joy, right? And acting on those things when it's authentic to me. Not because people say I have to or because of these rules, right? We're reframing, we're restructuring. We don't have to prove anything to anyone. And it's like we forget that. Sometimes we really forget that. We go into the competition, we go into the external stories that we hear, but guess what? What if they aren't true? What if that doesn't have to be your reality, right? How can you make things easy for yourself? Really, we don't have to prove anything. So just share what you love. Be in that authentic moment when you're like, oh my gosh, I love this. I just want to share my love of something. Then that's the right way to go about it, right? So we're really cracking open. We're really coming into this new self-discovery as well, because what does it mean to love yourself? What will life look like when you love yourself? And when we're in authenticity, that's loving for ourselves. So when we're living an aligned, authentic experience, that's going to shift a lot. And that's what I've already been seeing is we've been shifting a lot because we're becoming more and more true to self. So we need to dabble, we need to play, we need to discover, we need to explore. And this might feel like unknown territory, right? But we're not going in with fear. We're going in with this childlike enthusiasm and wonder where it's like, wow, what's around the corner? What if I tried this? Or what if I dabbled in that? What if I just got creative and just try different things and see what really is true to me and what feels good for me? So some of us are leaving behind even jobs. We're leaving behind relationships, like big things, because they're just not authentic to us anymore. They're just not aligning anymore. And we're like, you know what? See ya. I'm going to play. I'm going to see what actually does fit me now because I've outgrown you. I've outgrown this. This isn't for me. I don't want to play this game of forfeiting myself all the time. I want to love me, right? So we're really coming to this space of alignment and expressing ourselves fully in this world. So there was a couple cautionary things here because sometimes when we get very excited about something, we go all in. And that's what they're showing me. And they're so happy about this. But we need to remember the balance with self-care, okay? Because they were showing me a lot of us might actually go to the other end of the scale where we get so lost in something that we forget to eat, or we get so busy into something that we forget we need a break and we need rest. And by the end of the day, you're absolutely burned out and exhausted. So they're like, we need to temper this excitement with balance. So really allow yourself to take breaks this week, find that balance, do self-care, And the secondary thing that was suggested here was clear the clutter. So anything that's getting in the way of sparking your creativity, anything that's kind of like restricting you. And I'm really seeing that very physically as well. So any physical clutter, it's time to get rid of it. It's time to clear it. It's time to donate it, regift it, whatever. They're just really saying clear out anything that's not resonating. So I'm seeing a lot of remodeling happening. I'm seeing a lot of redecorating. I'm seeing us move things around, especially at home, especially in our sacred space. They're just showing like you don't need all this stuff anymore. It doesn't fulfill you. You're not using it. Give it away. Get rid of it. Clear out the gunk. And they're also saying like mentally, right? So if anything's sabotaging your creativity, get rid of it. What do you need to clear this week so you can work from that space of harmony, of peace, and really feeling truly connected to yourself without any distractions? So donate, sell, revamp, and remodel. That was what was coming through. So lastly, we have this beautiful question. How do you want to express yourself in this world now? Fill your whole world in authenticity. So that means looking at every single part of our lives and going, is there anywhere I'm not being authentic? Is there anywhere that I'm not fulfilling myself, that I'm not listening to my intuition and my authenticity and making those changes? And what was so cool was sometimes the things we don't even think about. So as an example, the holidays. Some of us really don't like the holidays. To me, it's always surprising because I love the holidays and I didn't get to celebrate them for years of my life. So for me, it's like, oh my God, I can't wait for the holidays. But I always found it shocking coming out of my community and recognizing that how many people actually really didn't like the holidays. That was shocking to me, but it's very true. Some holidays are associated with sorrow or with hurt or with bad experiences, or some people don't like the commercialism of the holidays. But what was really interesting was the permission that they were giving us. They're like, give yourself permission with the holidays as an example to really make it your own, to not subscribe to whatever it is that bothers you. So whether it's the commercialism as an example, don't subscribe to that. Go, okay, well, I don't have to partake in that. I don't have to let that bother me. I get to make my own holiday and celebrate it the way I want to. And we're like, just go to the roots, right? Go to the roots of the holiday. Go to the roots of what's important to you with it. Some of us, we celebrate it because of Jesus, right? Some of us celebrate it because of the family time. Some of us celebrate it because it's a great excuse to get together with friends and give gifts and express love. So if we can come to the roots of that and go, okay, how can I create this holiday as something that's really beautiful for myself instead of, ignoring it, making it inauthentic, and not enjoying the experience? Because a lot of us do that. We forfeit, once again, our authenticity for the holidays because, everybody needs to get together, or, this person wants this or that, or, you have to spend over $100 on a gift, right? And no, no, you don't. So how do you want to spend your holiday? Okay, this is what was so interesting coming in. How do you want to live your life now? How do you want to celebrate? And if you don't want to celebrate at all, that's fine, right? So what is authentic to you? And we have to think about that every corner of our lives. Where are we dreading something? Where are we sacrificing our true desires? Where are we compromising our authenticity? Even in things like the holiday season, right? What can you do to make yourself aligned? What is it that needs to align with you and your authentic self, right? So even give the example of gifts, you don't have to do gifts. You don't have to. If you do gifts, well, what if you rehome some items? What if you do crafting? What if you do something sentimental? You don't have to go into debt because it's Christmas, right? There's always ways to make things exciting and fun and meaningful and beautiful for yourself. Okay? So how do you want to live? How do you want to honor and celebrate your life? So they bring this in for like the holidays. It's a great way to celebrate life. It's time to stop, to have some time off, to go in and celebrate yourself, celebrate your family, celebrate the gifts of your life, right? So beautiful. And when we think of, Christ came in to give us a beautiful gift of life. So how are you honoring that gift? How are you really honoring the sacredness of humanity, right? So other aspects of this were peace and harmony. There was actually really big emphasis on this, on charitable work and really promoting this energy of peace, right? So once again, they're bringing awareness to how some of us might be really indifferent or really like, oh man, holidays, whatever. But they're actually bringing in this awareness to actually shift this. And once again, in a different way, how can we use this as an excuse to promote more peace? The world needs more peace. The world needs more harmony. The world needs more of these vibrations. So whatever you subscribe to, right? Really move into that space of how can I create more of a vibration of harmony and love? And a lot of us need to consider doing some giving back. So this week was really highlighting that. How can we do some charitable work? How can we help others right now? Sometimes we can really be so focused on ourselves and our journey, which is wonderful, right? We have to do that. But they're really bringing in this beautiful full circle moment. It's like as you top up your cup, the more you'll be able to have room and bandwidth to help other people. So they're just giving these beautiful ideas of charity, of, making a food bank donation, of doing charitable work of some sort and sharing love and promoting these energies of peace and harmony. Because as we harmonize internally, the more we're going to be putting out that vibration. So absolutely amazing messages this week. And I just loved all of these little suggestions and tips that can really help us no matter what the situation is, to help us really move forward in life. Okay, so I do feel called to pull us some cards, and I'm going to do that right now. This is so cute and so perfect. So we have the life lessons card. You can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. Natural beauty and authenticity. Be yourself as God made you, naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. And then we have unnecessary worries. Release the burden of worries by giving them to God for healing and solutions. And control issues. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing what others may try to do to control you. So this is super interesting. So I'm really getting this follow-up theme of the life lessons. We're learning our lessons. We're letting them go. We're recognizing why they've repeated, why we've had people-pleasing ways, why we've had slowdown, why we've had isolation. We're recognizing these patterns and we're breaking those cycles this week. We're recognizing where we've had hypervigilance. So this is what the control issues card really brings in for me, where it's like, I need to be safe. I need to be in control of life because it's not safe for me. And we're shifting this where we're like, when we're in fulfillment, doing what we love and we're helping other people and helping ourselves, we release the need for that, right? We don't need to control anything anymore. We can flow. It's safe because I know everything's going to be provided for me. So this is where the unnecessary worries card comes in very nicely. So this week, be very mindful. Where am I worrying? Where am I worrying unnecessarily, right? Where do I need to leap into trust? Where do I need to rewrite these programs? And once again, come back to my lesson. We're releasing the need for that lesson, okay? And then clearly, our natural beauty and authenticity, be yourself. How can you be more yourself? Okay, this week, that's going to be our big highlight. How can I be me? How can I be more true to me? How can I make my life authentic in every square inch? So fall in love with yourself. Let yourself move into what you love. Help other people. Help yourself. Fill your own cup, okay? Make your experience so very beautiful that your life is going to be a miracle. And it is. It already is. We just needed to see it. So see that miracle of your life. See the miracle of yourself this week. And please let me know how you're doing. I'd love to hear from you guys. How has this journey been for you? What are you doing now to change your life and be more authentic? Let me know. I'd love to see your comments. I'd love to see your thoughts on this week's reading because, wow, it was so powerful. So I'm sending you all lots of love. Have a beautiful, blessed week, my friends. Bye.